Leanne. Time for the press review now. Dipti's with us. She's starting with the purging of China's top military leaders, leaving the military there in crisis, Dipti?
Yeah, that's right, Stuart. It's the purging has been called a seismic event in China. That's according to one analyst from the New York Times. The New York Times today reporting that in President Xi's China, even the mightiest general can fall. Now, on the weekend, Zhang Youxia, China's top military leader, who's also a celebrated war veteran, and another senior military leader, well, both of them were purged, officially relieved of their duties, but they were not just fired, they were publicly castigated in an editorial in the Chinese government newspaper. That editorial hinting that the two men had been accused of corruption and saying that they had severely undermined the party's absolute leadership. Now, that's from the New York Times. The Guardian also reporting on this, saying that the fate of China's top general is more likely to do with a power struggle than it is corruption. In any case, it analyzes this photo you see here. This one was taken last December, and this is Zhang, the fired military leader. His position is front and center right next to President Xi itself is quite telling of just how important he was in the Chinese ranks and why him leaving now is going to create a big hole in the power structure.
Yeah, in the wake of those firings, lots of questions then, not only what it means for China, but also the region more widely, Dipti?
Yeah, because he had a very important role in military partnerships. And this is from Radio Free Europe, which actually asks that very question. What this means, what does this mean for China and its neighbors? Now, they explain that for a long time, President Xi has sought to sort of project this image of a China that is a superpower. So this purge will really bring doubt on what exactly is happening in China, and indeed if President Xi really has an iron-clad grip on his inner circle. Zhang was particularly present in Central Asia, which looks to China as a beacon of stability. He was also part of a commission with Russia on military and technical cooperation. And on the issue of Taiwan, well, analysts say that Zhang's removal could affect China's military readiness or even its future ambitions on the island.
Something different for you now. Diplomatic tensions. This is between Italy and Switzerland now over the latest developments in the investigation into that Swiss ski resort bar fire. I'm sure you remember killed dozens, of course, on New Year's Day.
Well, Jacques Moretti, he's on the front of Aujourd'hui en France, the French paper. Here he is with his partner, Jessica Moretti, the two owners of the Constellation Bar in that Swiss ski resort town of Crans-Montana. The owner of the bar was actually put up bail on Friday and was released from custody while awaiting trial. Now, since then, he and his partner, who was free while awaiting trial, have continued to blame their employees for the fire, which was triggered by sparklers in champagne bottles. You'll remember some 40 people died in that fire. Of them, 6 were Italian. And on the weekend, Italy recalled its ambassador to Switzerland. Le Monde newspaper explains that Italian authorities are now demanding to co-run this investigation into what happened alongside Switzerland. The idea being, or the suggestion being, that they don't trust that Switzerland will do a thorough job. It's prompted some angry comments in the Swiss papers today. This is from Le Temps, the Swiss daily, which in its editorial here evokes what it calls the indecency of Italian attacks. It says, accuses the Italian government of political profiting to detract attention away from its own shortcomings, like the delays in the Winter Olympics, for instance, or the fact that they never convicted someone in the Genoa bridge collapse back in 2018.
And Dipti's found, in fact, that the reactions in the Italian press are also quite divided.
Yeah, they are, absolutely. This is from Il Messaggero, which in its a commentary here accuses Swiss authorities of, quote, obstinate inertia in its investigation, saying you cannot wash your hands of this one, not this time. The Swiss president, meanwhile, reacted by reminding Italy to respect the separation of powers. And this is something that another Italian paper, La Stampa, hails as a true lesson to Giorgia Meloni and her government.
Finally from Dipsy, dry January is almost at an end, but this means it's the start of off February. What on earth is off February?
Well, it's not an occasion to start drinking like you've never drunk before. It's not quite that. It is a detox of some way anyway. Off February is being launched in 4 countries, including here in France. The idea being to go on a digital detox. So after detoxing your body in January of alcohol, you're detoxing, I guess, your sanity in February. People are being encouraged to delete all their social media apps for 28 days. And there's good reason too. 64% of French people, according to the Huffington Post, say they are ready for a digital detox. Great timing too, because Le Monde reports that French MPs overnight actually approved a social media ban for children under 15. That's in the lower house of French Parliament. It'll go to the Senate next, and if it's approved in the Senate, well, then France would follow in Australia's footsteps and become the 2nd country to do so.
Delete everything apart from, of course, the France 24 app.
Of course, that goes without saying.
Yeah, she forgot to say that bit. It's written in all the papers. France 24. More coming up.